Welcome back. Bop indeed. So, ship route makes its first delivery. So this is no longer possible future ship route. This is definite current ship route. So these were still waiting. Actually, I think we put too many ships on here. This made quite a nice profit, but yes, I think there's far too many. I think six was very ambitious. So let's have a look at this looks empty. This looks empty, I think. It's empty. Yeah, these are both empty. Because these, and what I'm looking at here is, this has got 11 crates in it, so let's not mess with that. That's empty. This one hasn't finished filling up before this ship is wondering, but oh, we are in a recession, aren't we? That's so. I'm not going to go overboard with removing the ships. That's an accidental ship overboard. Ha ha. No. So I'm not going to remove loads of them because I think the recession will be over at some point. Then we will be back on track. And let's have a look actually at how our recession is. Oh, interesting. The other AI for Aviator actually seems to be doing well. Can we buy shares? Oh yes, excellent. So we're going to take a risk on Dundee Engineering. I'm going to pop some money into them in the hope that they kind of grow similar to Aviator did. They might not, but they are at least profitable. So we should consider that. So there we go. So this is mid-recession. Our coal trains are sort of taking coal to Newcastle. So how does this do? This hasn't yet made its profit. So let's see if this is going to make us money. Oh yes, that's going to work well. So no surprise there. Let's check that this works okay with the bridge as well. I know these coal trains are going to sort of complain a lot about the recession, but they're just going to have to tough it out. So yeah, they slow down a bit, but you see even that down to 32. That's still benefiting from that being a suspension bridge and not a 30-mile-an-hour concrete bridge. So this is all going quite well. We might be about to see the overflow in action. So let's see. Did Timberwolf screw it up? No, he didn't. Perfect. Well, that's all very good, isn't it? So let's have a look. So we want to add more coal to this. So we're looking for more coal mines. So there's Go Covenant coal mines. So we've got these coal mines down here, but there's also one up here that we should start considering now. I could do something very mean here, which is that, and I know I actually have an investment in them, so maybe this isn't the smartest idea, but when I come to connect up this coal mine, so let's do our normal approach, and 117 tons. This isn't a recession, so it will go up to 200 or something, but we can just do our standard approach of building a little overflow into that. So I could put a bridge over here. And if it was my own road vehicles, I would suffer with the reduction in speed for a bridge. But no, I'm going to just build the level crossing over there. Nice sort of primitive early level crossing. That's all you get. And the reason is evil. The reason is pure malicious intent, which is every once in a while, a road vehicle will decide to go through the crossing while it is closed, or will somehow end up on the crossing while it is closed. And I think this is getting rarer and rarer. By the way, this is if you were playing original Transport Tycoon, it seemed like it had almost been built so that road vehicles would end up on crossings with always, and there was nothing you could do about it, and so on and so forth, and everything would end up going really, really badly. But OpenTTD, actually, there's been quite a bit of development recently, and I think there's still development ongoing. I think there's a patch that went in, or that's in the offing, maybe a couple of days ago, which before I filmed this video, which was kind of mid-January, for removing even more cases when the level crossings can conflict with the when can be open and can let vehicles on when a train is coming through. So what I was getting to is that back in Transport Tycoon Deluxe, if you did this, every couple of minutes you would see some sort of horrible news story of vehicles destroyed by train on level crossing, and who were just within sort of a few years of operation of the train line, you were in a situation where the road that it crossed would have no vehicles on it. But OpenTTD is gradually reducing the number of opportunities for that to happen. So let me just clone a coal train, because I show you what I mean. And this is kind of, it's one of those things that it's a very old sort of cheesing strategy, which was that you could upset the AIs and ruin their operations. You could do this with human competitors as well. You could upset people's operations and ruin them all up by setting up these crossings. And that kind of, it's one of those things you used to use to kind of cheese the AI and ruin its day. So, but it's not really ideal. And in fact, there's some situations where, when it's your own vehicle, it's actually rather annoying that you can't just use a level crossing. You have to build bridges and tunnels and things like that. So OpenTTD has actually started kind of removing some of these situations in which the road vehicles can be ploughed through by trains. So we might see some of this when this train is loaded up. So let's wait for that to happen. Well, it seems like it's going to take quite a while with this recession on. So I'm just going to set that going. I'm just going to ignore the fact that it's empty and it won't give me represented profit. So what you will see is, as soon as it reserves that path, the level crossing has closed, which is fine, apart from the fact that this level crossing did not close with it. So I think there is a patch in the offing that may be merged, possibly by the time you get to see this, into the night list. May not be, who knows, where these will start closing together, so that you don't get this thing where this crossing closes and then traps vehicles on this crossing, which when a train comes across, kaboom, suddenly no more road vehicles, horses flung everywhere. But I'm not yet. I'm not up to a recent enough nightly build here. No, I don't think that patch has yet been merged at this point, so we are still at risk. So we still might be able to cheese the AI slightly and destroy its road vehicles and ruin our investment. Well, let's have a look. How is the value going? So the value is kind of about stable, and that's not too bad. So we'll keep our investment. Maybe we might lose this little road vehicle route, but it won't be too disastrous. And recession is over as well. It's all good times for everybody. So there we go. So let's leave that running. So this now, see this. So there was a little bit of a delay there. It was slightly unfortunate. Where's the signalling on this? Oh, there's a rather... This seems not to be fully signalled. That's not good. Let's improve the signalling. So this is better. So this Newcastle Bank Top may reach a point where it's not able to cope with the volume of trains going into it, but leave that for now. So that's good. We now have this. So we have Lazenby. This is what they still think I'm very good. I've not destroyed enough of the area around their town that they're unhappy with me. This is no. Yes, I could. What could I tell you about Lazenby? Well, it's not the right spelling for me to expound upon my theory that Lazenby was actually the best Bond, but which has it's not really an informed state of affairs. It's just that when I was younger, you sort of Bond movies were things that you occasionally saw on the TV, maybe round about Christmas time or something like that, and the kind of the nature of these things, it was the same as Disney films, right? So in the 80s, things ended up on TV. And this may seem weird now that we have, the Disney Vault and Disney Plus, and Disney movies are very, very tightly controlled, but they used to turn up on TV. They used to be a thing that you would actually get on sort of a Saturday afternoon or something. But an important point here is never any of the ones that were considered to be the good ones and this is why, if you're ever wondering why we're sort of like the people in their 30s ended up with this weird nostalgia for things like the sort of the Sword in the Stone and Robin Hood and whatever of the Disney films, it's because those were the ones that turned up on TV, because Disney Company were like, well, the modern ones we're still trying to get home video sales and whatever out of, and the really good ones we kind of think that you might be enticed to buy those on VHS, where it's still a new and exciting format. But there's kind of the kind of the early 70s ones, the Aristocats and Robin Hood, and the ones which are not critical darlings. They're like, oh, we'll just throw those out on TV. People won't mind. And it's not like it's any of the good ones that we're going to lose revenue from. But it has this sort of perverse incentive that now the ones which are not so good are the ones that people have kind of this nostalgia for, because they kind of got taped off the TV, and you kind of watching them with really fuzzy picture and sort of mono sound and everything kind of dreadful. And so that's how that's why you get this nostalgia. And it's the same for me with On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is the Lazenby Bond. And it's this has all gone rather wrong, hasn't it? So I was going to say, don't create an overflow here. maybe what we should have done is, and I don't want to sort of, maybe a conclusion is to have created an overflow there. So let's do that. Let's do that while we talk about the joys of TV provision. So, On the Majesty's Secret, it is a good film, right? It has lots of very exciting. It has some great sequences. It has that sort of whole, extended cable car messing about sort of stuff that went on and whatever else. Not really selling it here, am I? This is, yes, watch On Her Majesty's Secret Service. They mess about in a cable car. It's excellent. But where I'm actually saying it's a good film. It has a lot of sort of what I guess you call sort of Bond style, Bond brand excitement. And it's nice. I like that story, apart from the very end, which I thought was just cruel. It had that thing. It tried to move the character on a bit, and tried to sort of explore something, do some things differently, and it does have that. And it's a nice Alpine film. It's a good film, but more importantly than being just a good film, it's the one which was always on TV, and this is so you ended up with the ones that people really were not the critical darlings, as we might say. So the sort of kind of, now is this station only a good rating because we had this disaster where the trains were all blocking each other? I might leave that alone for a bit. Yeah, so you had those sort of Roger Moore kind of early 80s sort of caper ones where he ends up sort of driving half a 2CV around and it's not really clear what's going on. And you have those sort of Timothy Dalton ones which have the really cool 80s Aston Martin. I mean, that's a great car, but then it's like the rest of the film, it's about 18 hours long and he spends sort of 7 hours just wandering around on a camel or whatever. That's, like maybe not. So you had this being, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but didn't really have that great a critical score, and I think it's unfair, and I think it's unfair just because they're like, ooh, weird Bond. Did this actor really did it once? Did it slightly differently? We don't like that. And so off the back of that, it was the one that was shown a lot on TV, and therefore, if you're viewing these things on TV and you don't have access to the good ones, you only have access to the sort of the as I say, the 19-hour long Timothy Dalton, like, can this just end now? And the sort of Roger Moore is just being silly now. Now it's sort of 2 CV wheels bouncing down hillsides and him using it as an upturned sledge or something else. This was like actually quite sensible, quite well plotted, nice kind of exciting alpine ski chase Bond where he actually isn't just a relentless womanizer, and that oh, I actually really like that film, and so therefore it's a nostalgia thing. The Lazenby Bond, and that was a long trip just from seeing that little village, but Lazenby Colliery. So let's. Do we actually have enough? Yes. Can we actually put no? So there we go. We can put a little tribute to the one reasonably good Bond film that I like, but is probably just nostalgic reasons. So yes. So anyway, if you see, this is going to come up and this is going to reserve its path and close the level crossing. So no disasters yet. It may happen. So yeah, the sort of thing. And actually, I realised as I was saying it, I've confused the Roger Moore Bond French car antics because it wasn't half a 2CV. The 2CV, I think he just riddled with bullet holes and drove it down a hill, which I think, fairly standard. I think it's half a Renault 11 or some sort of small Renault hatchback that he would end up with half of. Should add that to Timberwolf road vehicles. That capacity of one passenger, half a Renault 11. Maybe not. So anyway, we've diverted away. This is running okay. This might actually, now we're post-recession, I think it needs another train. So there we go. Let's put another train on that. There we go. This is turning into one of those. Yeah, this looks okay. This is doing reasonably. This is making quite a lot of coke. We should start thinking about the train, where it goes. So coke goes to blast furnace. So carbon black plants and tyre plants. Do we have anything like this? Ooh, carbon black plants we do. Which take coal tar. So we could sort of move over here, I guess. And yeah, why not? Ooh, is there one up here? So actually there's one up here. So with my stated goal that I wished to expand the network, well, that looks good in industrial, isn't it? Oh, good job, Andy, on that. That's very well done. Let's just admire the industrialness of that. That looks very good. That's very pleasing to the eye. So, before we get distracted too much by the fur sprites, this takes us closer to our aim of being able to get non-luminous Bob sort of down here somewhere, because we build more network up here. That gives us sort of railway that we can transfer down. So yes, so that's good. So let's where did that carbon black plant go? Let's look at there. It's up here near cafes. And is the AI doing anything with it? No, the town's just expanded into it. So we should do that. You've got about 5 minutes. Let's do that. So Newcastle here. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start creating a nightmare of waypoints. So we're going to have a waypoint which is going to be Newcastle drop-off. And everything that goes to Newcastle currently is going to go via that drop-off. Why is that going to happen? Why? Maybe I should just not tell you. I should just make this a series of endless mystery where you don't find out what I'm doing. Rather than me badly explaining it, I'll just not explain it at all. No, let's be nice. So what this is that we're going to try to extend this station out so that we use the same station for drop-off and pick-up, because that obviously feels like something that's going to end really, really well. So let's think of some facilities that we could put on. So let's have a storage shed and a thing. What else can we have? Raw materials as fixtures. You could just have some sort of generic fences, I suppose. And then another sort of warehouse out here. Oh, there we go. That looks nice. And so we wanted coal tar, which is... coal tar is kind of... What is it? It's a sort of a gooey, liquidy, sticky substance. Selling it here, aren't I? So let's put that. Let's put a 2x5 here. And this can come up round here. So this is going to be a sort of longer station here. And I'm going to just make this split here. So this can split here. Or can it? No, because the drop-off waypoint is there. So we need this to come out a little more. There's always a balance between how much space to use and how much does it cost and all of that other stuff. But this is probably fine. And we're at that point where we're kind of just money just keeps rolling in and we don't have to worry so much about it. So this is going to be Newcastle coal tar pickup. So I'm going to pick up the coal tar from here. And there we go. And this sort of can come around here. And there you go. Let's press X. By the way, I don't think I ever explained this, but when you see this sort of transparency blasting on and off like this, sort of, like someone turning on and off, flicking the lights on and off, that's just me. I press X on the keyboard, and that basically gives you the... Let's just pop those there. And that basically turns transparency on and off. Makes it kind of easier to build. So that's why I do that. So you're not sort of everything's hidden behind trees. So we got a new depot for the 1860s. So we're going to have the coal tar pickup here. Should probably build a depot further down here as well, just so I'm not sending the trains kind of back to the pickup and then through there. So there we go. That's fairly nice. So that's the pickup. So let's see if we can go up here and do I split this? Do I just make this longer? And let's see how far we can get. So I usually try to get these done sort of about 23 minutes or so, and I see the time ticking away. But let's see how far we can get with just getting that. And then this is going to be sort of level crossing nightmare up here. So there we go. So we need to get the how many kilns? It's here, isn't it? So we need to get up to here. So let's build. And this is where, if we look at that, I need to check that doesn't start going uphill needlessly. But there we go. Just build a very super quick double track, and this might come to haunt us at some point. Like there may be some point where we go, actually we're spending way too much money on this sort of stuff. But there we go. Let's build suspension bridges over that, and that's all good. So yeah, there we go. That's the thing that we want to get to. So speed building, Timberwolf speedrun. This is, gosh, could you imagine the horror of a Timberwolf plays OpenTTD speedrun? It'd be like, what would the category be? And it's like, speedruns have these categories where there's like, this is what you're doing and this is the restrictions you're under. I think Timberwolf speedrun would just be time to first horrible signalling accident, which incidentally, despite having invented the whole category, I'm still bad at, because it took me multiple years to get to that point. So there we go. That's above that. Doesn't need an overflow because it's not a pickup station. It's signalled. It's all good. Let's build some trains. Let's build some coal tar trains. So these can be, and these, I think we can go for the full wheel tank wagon. So how much do these take? 180,000 litres. This doesn't produce that much, does it? 135 tons. Okay, so let's back off a little bit. Let's make that like that. Let's make that 120,000 litres of coal tar. That should be okay. These will take a little while to load and unload. So this is not going to be a very profitable route, unfortunately. But I'm going to create two of them. And I forgot the important thing when I claimed those was that they need to go via the coal tar pickup. So there we go. That one's off. Make sure that one's also going to go by the coal tar pickup. And this is just to stop them conflicting with the trains dropping off. Because otherwise what you get is the station gets blocked by trains wanting to pick things up and to drop things off. So there we go. So that is, I said 23. This is now 24, 25 minutes. So, but I thought it was vitally important that we built this stuff. So there we go. It is built, and we shall see the consequences of that building in a future episode.